How's it going today? Welcome to Tyler Today Live. Today I am joined again by TJ Rainman. Let me go ahead and pull him up here. How's it going, TJ?
Doing excellent. Ready to see what we got on the docket today.
Oh yeah, we got some news to talk about. One I did a video about and go more in depth on it. And then after the show today, of course, you got to check out Outworld Live, followed by the Quiet Part Pod. So make sure you check both of them out. And then without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these stories. Let me pull up this first one here. So let's see. We got the Disney's woke Snow White. Looks like it is being slapped with a trigger warning about a woman deliberately poisoned and a girl surrounded by ominous trees. What's your first thoughts reading that?
Does this change the rating of the movie? Are they going to have to, only release it in select theaters now? Like, what exactly does it mean? Slapped with a trigger warning? Who's slapping it with the warning or whatever?
You know, I might go watch Snow White if it was rated M for mature. It
Those
could be a lot
ominous
more.
trees.
Yeah, it could be a lot more interesting. Yeah, ominous trees. You have to be warned about ominous trees and a woman deliberately being poisoned. I wonder if they're going to start slapping trigger warnings on their the Disney Plus shows and stuff like that now.
Right. I think it's bullshit that they're throwing spoilers out there. Like, what if you didn't know that she was intentionally poisoned? Now, okay, well, thanks. You ruined like the biggest plot twist of the movie.
I know that's a major spoiler right there. It's the $200 million pound movie that has been plagued by controversy from replacing dwarf actors with CGI and its lead star panning the original Disney cartoon for its sexist romance plot. And now woke Snow White has struck again as trigger warnings such as a woman deliberately poisoned and a girl surrounded by ominous trees have been issued for audiences. The British Board of Film Classification has slapped a hefty list of disclaimers on the live-action Disney remake starring Rachel Zegler, which she's got a bunch of controversy around her,
Mhm.
as Snow White and Gal Gadot as the Wicked Witch. The $270 million remake of the 1937 classic will debut this week, but has been beset by multiple controversies, including reimagining the Seven Dwarfs as a diverse group of magical creatures of all heights, gender, and race. That was crazy. I thought they were going to cancel the movie after that controversy, but no, they kept going with it. And then you had the stupid crap from Peter Dinklage, who wanted to pull the ladder up behind him. He's like, "How dare you make a movie with a bunch of dwarves?" And it's like, dude, like,
Dude, it could have been so iconic for so many actors who, any little person that's getting cast in a movie is being typecasted, and this
right.
is like one of the biggest, most recognizable films that you could potentially be cast in, and he's gonna just bury everyone like that. It was, it's a pretty disgusting move. I feel like on his part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been talked about to death at this point because it is a little bit old news, but it just baffles me that like you would pull the ladder up behind you in such a way because like literally like you're you're an actor, you got your start in movies where you play a little person, and this could have been a good start for I'm reading the chat, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Joey. But anyway, this could have been a great start for new little people actors.
I
Or
almost wonder. I almost wonder if it's Peter Dinklage not just pulling the ladder up behind him, but just like protecting his ability to get those roles. If there are fewer famous little people
that
actors, then all of those contracts come to him.
that's
All of
definitely
those,
a good point because if there are seven fresh new faces that could fit the roles that Peter Dinklage plays, it definitely is competition for him. So the less competition, the better.
I'm
That
just
is
setting
an
the
excellent
tinfoil hat
point.
on for a second.
Yeah. No, I mean that's an excellent point, and I wonder if we should even say ladder. Maybe we should say step ladder, but
Hey,
hey, but no, I
also,
thought the movie was gonna be canceled after that controversy.
yeah, it blows my mind that like this movie is basically already done and buried, and yet there's just more and more shit that gets piled on top of it. Like this trigger warning did not need to happen, and it seems, if this was something that like some right leaning, you know news publication like came out with just to try and smear the film further for being woke or what have you, then like, maybe it would be just, it would make a little bit more sense. But like
Um,
the
with
horse is already dead. Like, stop kicking it while it's, or whatever
no,
they say, beating a dead
so,
horse or something like that. Like, kicking it while it's down.
Well, I was just reading more of this article because it says here viewers are told a couple gently kiss and are teased about being in love. A character threatens to shove something up another's backside during a comic exchange, and skeletal remains lie on the floor of a dungeon. So I guess some of the trigger warnings.
Jeez.
So it's not just ominous trees, but they have trigger warnings for multiple subjects.
Now, have trigger warnings like been something that have been posted about movies
I have
in the
never
past, or is this a new
warning.
thing? Because I
I've
don't
ne-
recall any.
I've been to a few movies recently. I've never seen an actual trigger warning. Like I've heard of them. I've heard people make fun of them, but I've never seen one myself. That's it's funny to me that someone would need a warning about this stuff. Like I get it, people have PTSD for certain things, but like that's the, people need to have like some self responsibility when it comes to these things. Like the movie is not responsible for hurting your feelings. Like
Right. It just
just
shows
deal
how
with it.
soft society is these days.
No, seriously. This article goes on and on. I don't know how much of it I want to read, but there's also it has a warning for brief sword fights, and a woman is deliberately poisoned. Well, I mean that's in the title. What else does it say here? New movie musical Wicked, which my girlfriend had the unfortunate experience of going to the musical Wicked. She went with it with some family, and she was texting me throughout about how horrendous it was. Looks like adapted the popular stage show starring Ariana Grande. It was a hit similar level. Wait, it was hit with similar level of trigger warnings, including discrimination against a green-skinned woman.
Yep. Yep.
No way. And persecuted talking animals. I can't take that seriously. There's no way.
I mean, do these people just need something to write about at the like at some point? Is it just they have to put
I
something out into the internet, and so they come up with whatever bullshit they can muster?
I yeah, I get it. It's been the news has been slow lately, guys. But like, come on, guys. That's I mean, it gives us something to talk about. But like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? Who's the trigger warning for the persecuted talking animals? Is that trigger warning for furries?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. PETA, PETA advocates. Yep.
I identify it as a green skinned man. I'm highly offended by that movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. I'm done reading that article. That's just
It's outrageous.
it's absolutely outrageous.
It's
Whoever wrote that,
fuel
like,
the fire.
I feel bad that they had to compile that because like it's not the person typing up the article that's putting these these trigger warnings out. It's it's obviously Disney, but that's just so sad.
Yeah. I think the boss needs to like start sending out those emails. What are 5 things you did this week, and then really give a performance review on if they're doing anything productive like that.
Well, I closed out of it, but that article was by the Daily Mail, so I think Disney needs to start doing that. Like, what did you get done this week?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every organization should do that at this point. Just like have a every month, just send an email to all your employees. What did you do this month? What
Yep.
did you do these past couple weeks? Like, I don't know. I think that would up productivity a lot because I mean, even just like working retail, like so many people just sit around and then they complain about there's nothing to do and they sit on their phone and it's like I could think of like 20 things you could be doing right now,
Mhm.
but
It would,
I don't
with a
know.
level of accountability, it would probably also prevent bullshit like that from coming out. You know?
You would hope so, but I don't know anybody that's gonna go see that movie. I look forward to the reviews, and I look forward to Disney losing money on it because there's no way they're gonna be making money on this.
Yep. Box office numbers are going to be something for the record books, we can say.
Out of curiosity, here while we're sitting here, how much is the news? How much did it take to make the new Snow White? Did it take? Because I would like to know how much did it take to
Like
make the
what
new
their
Snow White?
target's going to be.
Yeah, I want to see like what their target is for box office sales and stuff like that. Uh, let's see. Estimated. So this has been in development since 2023.
Yeah.
So looks like around $500,000.
Okay.
So they need
Is
to
that
make at
considered low
least a half
budget
a
at this
million.
point? Well,
Sorry.
there's 500,000, and then I heard somewhere that they probably also have about the same amount for like marketing and promotion
Yeah.
costs or whatever. So they would have to probably make closer to 1 million to break even.
You mean
But
a billion?
huh? Yeah,
You mean
probably.
around a billion? I don't know. They're gonna need to make a lot of money to get to break even on this. I think they're just looking to push the movie out at this point because they know it's dog crap, but they're like, we've put already so much money into it, we have to release it.
Yeah, recoup some sort of costs.
Yeah, but okay. We talked about that more than enough. That was the first 10 minutes of the show. Lot to talk about there.
Gotta love
Um,
chaos.
yeah. So we'll go into. I don't want to talk about the Texas bill just yet. I want to talk about. I want to see this clip from Schumer. I didn't watch this clip because I pulled it up right before we went on. Though I did put it in the title. So let's see here. So if you didn't know already, Democrats, Chuck Schumer more specifically, thinks that you're greedy for not wanting to be taxed on your income. So let's play this clip from him on The View. We have this from Greg Price. Schumer mocks greedy Americans who want to keep more of their own money. Quote, their attitude is, I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? So he's outright mocking taxpayers that don't want to be taxed at outrageous amounts. So
Yeah.
let's play this clip.
Keep
This'll
on with this, Democrats. Like,
Yeah, keep up with this, please. All right, let's see this clip.
You know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, my the land and water that I own, or my employees? They hate government. Government's a barrier to people, a barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Okay, good.
What?
who is we? When he says we
Yeah,
are united,
yeah, we are united.
we are the government bureaucrats. United in stealing
The
money
the
from people.
beginning of that clip is disgusting though. Like he outright mocked taxpayers. He's like, "Oh, you want more of your money?" Oh, and he's just like shaking his hands like that's just disgusting to me. Like I don't get it. But like we said before we played the clip, like come on, keep doing it, Democrats. Just keep on with it, guys.
There's a level of just like not being able to read the room that these people have. Like,
Yeah.
how can you dig your hole even deeper?
And then he does say something true. The American people see the government as a barrier to a lot of things, and yeah, that's absolutely true. But he says it like it's a good thing. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. What does Grok say about it at the top? Schumer on taxation. Your money is government's. So there's probably a longer clip to this because I mean they had to have gotten to that topic somehow.
Sure.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer appeared on The View, where he discussed the perspectives of some Americans towards taxes, stating that their attitudes, I made my money all by myself. How dare the government take my money from me? I mean, that's true.
Isn't that
This
what our
statement,
country was founded on?
right.
Just not
And
want
then he says this statement has sparked reactions across the social media, with some users interpreting it as Schumer mocking individuals. Okay, well, he was mocking people. But I mean, I get to play devil's advocate here, right? Maybe what he's saying is like all the infrastructure that the government supports and stuff like that, the public transportation. I don't know. Like, sure, there are maybe some things that the government contributes to, but that does not mean that they helped me make my money. I don't remember the government working half my fucking shift.
right.
So
Like, I think that I don't know. Taxation is theft or whatever. But if people agree to give some of their money to facilitate the infrastructure around them, like that is one thing. But being overly taxed, and I mean the issue that everybody has right now is where our tax money is going. It's not necessarily that we're being taxed, even though a lot of people are upset that we're being taxed or
yeah.
whatever. But a lot of it is send it to something that benefits our country and not something that benefits other parts of the world or something.
Well, and
So
what I talk about a lot too is taxation is also a big problem when it comes to income in general. Because, and I bring this up often, when I worked at a grocery store, people would constantly complain about not making enough money, and they're like, "Oh, we need a raise. They don't pay us enough." And it's like, "Oh, it would be great if the government didn't take 30 to 40% of your check." Because, like here in California, taxes here are fucking ridiculous. And I've told people repeatedly, what would be better? Zero tax or $25 an hour and prices go up anyway.
right,
So it's like, and what I tell people all the time, is all these greedy corporations, as they're described as, they're going to make their money regardless. So if they have to pay you 25 an hour, they don't necessarily care because they're going to make their money regardless. They'll just up prices where they need to.
Yep.
So it doesn't actually benefit you in the long run. What would benefit people is if we had less taxes and things of that nature.
Well, so
Because
did
a
you?
mandatory minimum wage on stuff isn't actually helping you. It's like a band-aid that just makes the problem worse later on.
Yeah. Did you comment at all recently when Trump was, or someone on behalf of Trump basically was talking about the no tax on people making less than 150,000 a year?
I did see that, but I didn't comment on it. I think it's a great start, but I'm all for, because how the country used to make money was through tariffs. So why don't we just go back to that plan? We'll just set up a model where we tariff the shit out of everybody and then stop taxing everyone.
Right. We are in like a weird sort of middle ground almost at the moment where we're still getting taxed and we're getting hit with tariffs,
Yep.
hitting tariffs and whatnot. And it needs to be increase the tariffs, decrease the tax, and keep like some sort of balance going on that. But
Yeah, well, we've had terrible trade deals where we're getting screwed over, where we don't tariff the other countries as much as they tariff us, and then we end up having to pay more. We end up paying them more for their goods, and they don't have to pay us as much. They just
I
pay the
really,
baseline.
yeah, I really don't see how our leaders have allowed such a thing to happen for so long. Like I had no idea that there was like 200% tax on certain goods coming in from Canada or whatever.
Yeah, no, Canada is egregious with it. There's like dairy, eggs, and stuff of that stuff similar to that is taxed 200 to 300%.
And how do we? That's fucked.
Yeah, no, it's insane, and it's like, oh, but we let them trade the exact same stuff unfettered. So it's just funny to see that they're getting angry about tariffs, and it's like, well, what kind of tariffs did you have on us all these years? I don't know,
Yeah.
but anyway, so let's see, we'll go into
Last thoughts on Schumer is that he's just dissociated from the American people. Like when you
yeah,
sit in the ivory tower, you don't really see what's going on the ground.
like most politicians, but you know. It is what it is. Like say it again. Just keep it up, Democrats. I love the direction you guys are going.
Exactly.
I love every bit of it. I would love for them to go more moderate, but it's also good if they keep going further left because then we'll just get more Republicans in office. So, we do need to put that out there because Joey talked about it on his show on Outworld Live. Check it out after this. He talked about it a bit yesterday. The pendulum swings when it comes to political parties. When a political party rises to power, they think they could wield that hammer and start hitting things all over the place. So there is going to come a point when Republicans have enough power where they will be the bad guys. So we need to be ready for that. So they're the good guys right now, but that won't last and never last.
Yeah.
Because Joey brings up a good point. Sorry, Professor Dama, you are Joey. Called him out in the chat. But Joey brings up an excellent point. Democrats weren't the ones trying to take South Park off the air, like 10 years ago.
Sure.
So we need to be aware of things like that. The Republicans aren't always right. They're right in current events, but it could change. But speaking of Republicans, let's move over to Texas. So let me pull up this screen here. What do you guys think about this? I made this video earlier. I made a video about this earlier today. Gender identity fraud is a new bill that they're trying to pass in the Texas House. Oh, sorry, Joey corrected me 25 years ago. Sorry, Joey, it was before I was born. I forget. It feels more recent to me, So what do you guys think about the gender identity fraud bill? I'll just read it real quick and then we'll talk about it. So, a bill to be enacted, an act of relating to creating the criminal offense of gender identity fraud. And then it has the subsections here, and then here's the actual bill, right? So, gender identity fraud, it is described as a person commits an offense if the person knowingly makes a false or misleading verbal or written statement to a governmental entity of the person's or the person's employer by identifying the person's biological sex as the opposite of the biological sex assigned to the person at birth. An offense under this section is a state jail felony. Now, I have more than a few things to say about this, but what are your thoughts?
So my initial thought is that, you know, I don't like seeing, you know, crimes be just like invented out of nowhere, kind of. But I do think that putting like I don't know what it is the current punishment if you go into the DMV and you're getting your license and you say you have blue eyes but you have brown eyes. Like what kind of you know fraudulent behavior what is already on the books for fraudulent documentation or what have you because you know uh, putting forth the opposite gender would kind of fall into the same line as lying on a government form or something like that, right?
Well, in terms of the statement you made about eye color, uh, someone's eye color doesn't affect other people, right? Like your eye color isn't gonna change how medical professionals treat you. It's not gonna change what bathroom you use, what sport you play in, and stuff like that, right? When it comes to identity fraud in general, using someone else's identity for illicit means, there's all kinds of things you can do to that affect other people. But when it comes to gender identity fraud, this is an interesting term. This is the first I've seen it, so it's interesting to actually see that a bill is trying to be passed about this.
Right.
Uh,
It's crazy. I haven't heard before. I mean, it makes sense.
it does make sense in theory. I just don't know if it might go too far, going as far to say that it's a felony. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I agree with the concept, but I don't know. I think it might go a little too far with this. But something does need to be done because there are like, how do you stop people identifying as the opposite sex? Like, how do you get people to stop doing that?
Yeah. So
And
let me.
especially for people that are like, because there's people that have gender dysphoria and they have mental issues, right? But then there's also the people that do it just because they know they can. And this, I'm assuming this would also affect prisons and stuff in Texas. So like, if you tried to lie to a prison about like what gender you are, they'd slap more crimes on your sentence.
Sure. So let's bring it into like a hypothetical. If you're driving and you're speeding, you get pulled over. Officer comes up to the window, knocks with the flashlight. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? And if your initial response is, "Oh, I'm actually a woman," boom, is that immediate felony just by stating that, especially with the body cam being on, it's
But yes,
documented
that's
evidence or
because
whatever.
it's a governmental entity, right? It's a government entity. So that is an interesting question. If someone pulls me over and I say that I identify as a female, would that be an additional charge?
And is there a difference between saying, "Oh, I'm biologically male, but I identify as female"? If you could,
Or like, what if I say I'm non-binary?
sure, like whatever it is, and you're just is is it fraudulent to request the officer
Well,
use
actually,
pronouns of
that does
her or
make sense
whatever?
though, because it is a crime already, and I'm pretty sure all states to say that you are someone that you're not to a police officer, right?
Yeah, but
So I guess that would fall under like, if a cop pulls me over and
like
I
lying to the
hand them
officer.
my ID and it says male on it, and then I'm like, no, I'm a female. You're lying about who you are to a police officer. But like I said, I just don't know if this goes too far, going as far to say it's a felony. Because in Texas, a felony could be like, I think it's like minimum 2 years.
Right.
We have some comments. Sick of shitty government. Love the name. I'm appalled that this has to be a law, clown world. It should be a felony to be that willfully retarded. Well, see,
I like this guy's
again,
takes.
it is funny to say that, but there are people with mental disorders and stuff like that. Like, not all of them can help this, but you don't help people with dysphoria like this, like body dysmorphia. You don't help people by affirming it. Like, I bring up the example all the time. Should we start giving anorexic people liposuction?
Right.
Like, that's not going to help them. That doesn't help anybody, and lying to them doesn't help either. So I guess this is another law to just show that Texas is like, hey, we are not affirming people. We are not going to affirm you.
Right.
So I don't know. It might be going too far, but overall, I do agree with it, because in a lot of examples, it does make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said that, like, me trying to be like tolerant of people or whatever, like if I meet someone and they say that they identify a certain way, like I'll likely give them the respect and try my best to refer them with how they want or whatever. But if you get injured and you're getting into the ambulance or whatever, all of that social gender or whatever needs to be thrown out the window because this is a real circumstance where your biological sex actually matters. And I feel like in government, for government documents or anything related to the law, it needs to have that same level of it needs to be official, and it needs to be your biological sex, because it's not just a social aspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I mean, me personally, in my personal life, I living in California, I know people that don't identify with their biological sex, right? The way I compromise on that is if they want to go by a different name, I'll call them by a different name, but I will not like, for example, my girlfriend, her best friend, does not like being called she or her. She wants to be called they them, or whatever. I
Mm.
refuse to do that. I don't do it. I don't even try to do it. I know it upsets her from time to time, but I genuinely don't care. I'm sorry that you aren't comfortable being a woman, but I'm not going to identify you as anything else. You are not multiple people. You are not a guy. I'm not going to refer to you as such.
Right. You don't get to control the way my language works.
Yeah,
You don't shift language, but yeah, I mean, and at some point, you have to draw a line in the sand and say, this is where I stand. Sorry if you enter my life and, are trying to cross that line in the sand, but that's where I have it. So deal with it. But
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
I just don't know how we help these people if we just keep affirming nonsense, like stuff that's not real. And then what I wanted to point out here is in the law, it says sex assigned to the person at birth. I absolutely hate that term. No one is assigned anything at birth. You are identified. You are identified as male. You are identified as female. You are not assigned. You are not being assigned anything. They are not God. They are not the arbiters of reality. They
Sure.
are not they are not assigning you anything. They are identifying you as male, or they're identifying you as female. In my video earlier, I added the caveat. Of course, there are intersex people, but that's like a percentage within a percentage.
Sure.
Like it's almost entirely irrelevant. But again,
That,
you're not being assigned anything at birth. You are being identified as.
yeah, that's also just a semantic argument as well. And
I
I
love
like,
semantics. I'll
I
argue
hate
semantics
semantic
all day.
arguments. Like the what's the phrasing for it? Like the intention of the law, or the intention of the phrase, is to reference that moment of identifying and acknowledging and assigning to a document. Like, I don't know, it all means the same thing in
It's
the
just words are very important to me. So when I see that someone is assigned something, that's like saying you're assigning someone a job or a title, right? You're not, when it comes to sex, biological sex, no one is assigning you a title. They're identifying your title. So words just matter a lot to me. And I hate seeing Republicans use the same rhetoric that gender ideologues use. Like when it
which
comes to
is fair.
yeah, when it comes to like using the word gender, they've been better about it recently because gender and sex are synonymous. When it comes to people with the gender ideology stuff, what they mean by gender is personality. So I am glad to see that conservatives are using gender more properly now. But they need to work on this. I think they need to work on the assigned to the person at birth, because that's the same rhetoric that transgender advocates use.
Yeah, completely fair. And I mean, it even seems as though, you know, when I feel like when I was a kid, gender and sex used to mean the exact same thing.
Well,
And
they are synonymous. They're supposed to be
well, but it
synonymous.
feels like they aren't anymore. It feels like sex is your biological sex, and then gender is your personality preferred identification sex. You know
Well,
what I mean?
that's why
And
I
that's
mean,
another area that we've like ceded to the left as they change language.
yeah, which I know I completely agree, because when it comes to sex and gender, I still see them as synonymous. But I fully understand that when you're talking to someone that's like a gender advocate, I fully understand that they see gender as like personality, like it's how you look, how you dress, how you act, which is all good and well. I don't care how you look, dress, or act, but stop calling yourself something you're not. Like if a guy, like I've said this multiple times, if a guy wants to walk around in a dress and high heels, grow out his hair, put on makeup, I genuinely could not care less. What I do care about is him going into places that he shouldn't be and identifying as something he's not. But
Right.
if a guy wants to be feminine, I genuinely don't care. Same thing
Sure.
for women. If they want to be masculine, I genuinely don't care. Just stop calling yourself a man when you're not. Stop calling yourself a woman when you're not.
Yep. I'm right
But
there with you.
any final thoughts before we go on to the next story? It's kind of related.
No, if you feel like I hit my thoughts
Yeah, we
pretty
could probably do
solid.
a whole show talking about that stuff. But
I don't normally, dive into the gender thing too often, but
that's one of my favorite topics to talk about. That and abortion. I'll argue with someone about abortion all day. But
I also try to avoid abortion because the reason I hate going into like debates about abortion is that's always the like you're arguing something over here and then they bring up abortion and then now all of that doesn't matter because the next 3 hours of conversation is just going to be about debating abortion. So
yeah,
I normally try to avoid it.
the only thing I'll say on the topic since I brought it up is
Yep.
I am not pro life. I am not pro choice. I am an abolitionist. So
Gotcha.
I think pro-lifers don't go far enough. That's about it.
Gotcha.
All I'll say. Let's see. So Illinois school locker room policy sparks privacy debate at Deerfield Middle School in Illinois. A controversy has emerged after a mother reported that school staff enforced a policy where her daughter had to change in front of a trans-identifying male student. The mother claims that female students were monitored by administrators to ensure compliance, causing significant discomfort and raising concerns about privacy and safety in school locker rooms. This incident has sparked a debate on how school policies balance inclusivity with student privacy. So any administrator that was caught doing this should be thrown in jail.
Yep.
Also, this is I almost want to say that this is pedophilic. You're forcing small children to change in front of the opposite sex of that are also small children. Like this is just disgusting, no matter how you cut it.
Yeah, and I think that this is sort of you could have predicted this story by like the whole debate about using whatever locker rooms in general. Like this is just another instance of what people have been warning about actually happening, you know?
Yeah, and what I've said before is like, yeah, sure, there are people that are confused about their gender or whatever. What needs to happen to make everything cool and dandy with me personally? Women need to be able to feel safe in spaces. They need to know that when they go into a woman's locker room, it's female only. Same thing with males; they need to have a male only space. And then if there are people that don't want to go in male spaces, they don't want to go in female spaces, give them their own. Make a third locker room, make a third bathroom. I genuinely don't care, but
Yeah,
women need to primarily women because this isn't much of an issue with a guy. Guy's not going to care if a woman walks into the restroom. He's just going to be like, what the hell?
yeah,
Ultimately, he won't care. Guys won't care. This is primarily for women. Women need to have a space where they feel comfortable and they know that there's only going to be other women around.
yeah. And like it is interesting that it only goes that one way. Like I was at a Ducks football game last season and went in to use the restroom. I think it was like at the end of the game, so everybody was piling in, and some gal just comes like walking in and goes and uses one of the stalls, very feminine or whatever. But this is just a gal who doesn't care, and she's just like, I gotta go, and I'm not gonna wait in the ladies' room. And everyone was like almost cheering her on, making jokes. Someone's like, "Hey, there's a girl in here." I was like, "Did you just assume her gender?" Like, just cracking jokes. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it is really only a concern when a biological male is entering a female
Well,
space.
I mean, when women and guys have different social norms. When it comes to guys are not going to be threatened by a woman walking into the restroom.
Right.
But women seeing a guy walk into the restroom, regardless if they're trying to identify as woman or not, they're going to feel a type of way about it. They're going to feel threatened. They're going to feel uncomfortable. And there are lots of people that fake having gender dysphoria, or it's a kink to them.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that go into that. And it does suck for the people that are genuinely gender dysphoric, but that doesn't give them a pass to just go into whatever restroom they want to go in.
Right. And
So women need to have a space that is female only. Women should have that right.
yeah. And the fact like I don't know, I don't see too much detail in like the headline of this. What do they mean forced? What was the boy in the locker room doing? Like was the boy over like in the corner just like changing on their own, not even looking?
Well,
And
so Riley Gaines right here says female administrators barricaded girls in a locker room after they expressed their discomfort with undressing in front of a boy. She literally stood guard in front of the door so they couldn't leave.
right, and well, I know, and I guess I'm just trying to look for the nuanced details, right? Like,
Oh, wait, there's a video. Uh,
I doubt they have a video from the locker room.
oh, wait.
Next participant is
Thank
Nicole
God.
No,
Georges.
yeah, this is a school board meeting.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, different video. So Riley Gaines says trapping young girls in a room where they are forced to non-consensually undress in front of a naked man is literally sexual abuse. Yeah, I would say so. Any school faculty involved in this, that's absolutely sexual abuse.
Well,
Um,
so back when I was also a kid, like there were a lot of girls who just like didn't want to participate in PE class, and so they weren't like dressing down for PE in general or whatever. And so, you know, if the administrators forced the girls to change just in front of other girls, what if it was, maybe a bigger gal that was like embarrassed about, the cute girls like seeing, you get what I mean? Like
yeah.
what if there's that uncomfort and the administrator also forces there? Like,
Yeah, in that situation, I would say, if someone feels uncomfortable undressing in front of anybody, which is totally reasonable, they need to have a private space for that. You shouldn't force anyone to undress in front of other people. That's just like Riley
right.
Gaines said. That could be considered sexual abuse. That's just
Right.
not right in any situation.
And then you throw the fact that there's a person of the opposite sex in there, and that sort of intensifies how,
Well, I don't know if
you
schools
can
still do
attack.
this because I didn't have this at my school, but there are schools where students will shower after PE and stuff like that. Because
You're supposed to.
well, well, my school didn't. But again, like, do women want to be showering knowing that there's a guy in the shower with them? Like,
Right.
that adds another layer of just that's not right. That's not good. I got a Twitch comment. It looks like an advertisement. Why are you advertising on my Twitch? What the?
Same dude as yesterday, probably.
No, it's a different name. I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, anything else to add this story? Because I think it's disgusting. I think everyone that was involved should be held responsible for sexual abuse or something similar.
I agree with you. Yeah, that's basically, it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy
All
that
right.
it's gotten this far.
I mean, that's what one of our comments said earlier. I'm appalled this has to be a law, clown world. Yeah, I mean, it already is a law to not force people to undress with other people, but anyway.
When did that take place?
Crap, I just closed out of it.
In the last day or
It
so.
had to have been recent, because they had a school board meeting there was a video of the school board meeting about it.
Right.
So I would probably, if I had to assume, probably within the last month. But I mean, who knows?
I'm just thankful that like people are recognizing this and standing up for this. You know what I mean? If there are the videos, the school boards and people like voicing their, how pissed off they are about it, that's really all you can do is make sure that people are held accountable when they take these messed up actions. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I'll look at it more tomorrow, and maybe we'll play the video tomorrow. But like we were talking about yesterday, Democrats keep picking these 80-20 issues where 80% of the population agrees that it's wrong, and then Democrats side with the 20 that think it's right.
Yep.
So again, like, this whole stream should just be keep going, Democrats, because it's ridiculous. But of course, somehow this is news. Hey TJ, did you know that Teslas have cameras that watch the car?
Do they?
Do they? Did you know? Did you know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know Teslas had cameras all over the car.
There are cameras everywhere these days, but the fact that people don't recognize that those cameras are needed for the car to actually operate.
Yeah, I mean, I played it. I don't have it pulled up, but I think it was a Blanco that was on my stream. There was a video of a guy chasing after a Cybertruck, and the dude had his family in the car, and the guy's like banging on the windows and flipping them off through the window. And the Cybertruck recorded all of it because
Mhm.
it's a Tesla. The Tesla, they have cameras for the self-driving features. Like they have cameras all over the place that are recording. So it's just funny to me that this is news. The vandal caught on Tesla camera at DFW airport. Now this thread just mentions one, but there are like 4 people in this thread that have been caught on camera.
Yep.
A man was filmed vandalizing a Tesla vehicle in the Dallas Fort Worth International Airport using a key to scratch the car. The incident occurred on March 13th at around 4:16 p.m. In the parking structure at the Terminal A, Gate 17. The footage was captured by the Tesla's Sentry mode, which automatically records potential vandalism. So look,
It's the
Elon,
reason it's there.
it's literally the reason it's there, guys. So social media users have shared the video to identify and publicize the individual involved, leading to significant online attention. So this is not the person. This is a trans person that got caught doing some other stuff. Let's see.
But is this the one where the guy's like pulling his luggage behind and just sort of like leans into the
Yeah,
car
we
with
have
his key
we have
out?
that video. Not this guy. It's this video here. So let's
Yeah, I
build this
saw that
up.
one earlier today.
So
He
yeah,
thinks
you can
he's so
see he's
smooth.
walking and then bam, look at that. Like the Teslas record all this, guys. Like don't go. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be vandalizing people's cars because of political shit.
Yep.
Second of all, don't vandalize Teslas. If you're gonna vandalize anything, don't vandalize a Tesla. They literally have cameras watching you.
And what's crazy to me about all this is we have a couple of different videos like this, and it's like, can you identify this person? And we're about to see like the 4chan investigators or the Reddit investigators or whatever. Like,
Yeah, no, this guy's gonna get caught. They got a good picture of him.
yeah, and when the internet comes together, like these people do get identified,
But there's other people in
Aside
this
from
thread.
scavenging.
Like Colin Rugg posted this one. The man who was caught on camera keying a Tesla in San Jose, California, has been arrested. Police say the man was arrested for felony vandalism. Within less than 24 hours of the viral vandalism incident being reported to the San Jose Police Department, we successfully identified, located, and arrested the individual. The senseless crime and its subsequent consequences should serve as a clear reminder, no matter one's personal beliefs or frustrations, they do not justify illegal actions. I urge everyone to respect one another and, above all, to respect the law. So there's this video. Oh, looks like they're playing it here. This guy can't. It looks like he's vandalizing it. Does it show it? It looks like he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it, and then yep, there he goes.
Jesus.
So this guy got busted. Come on, dude, you got the America like jacket and stuff. Like, I want to like you, bro, but come on, you can't go around vandalizing stuff. That's not cool. No matter even if the roles were reversed and
Look,
Elon was on Biden's side, I wouldn't be going around vandalizing Teslas. Like, it's so stupid.
the left like trying to rock the American flag is cultural appropriation at this point.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff that they've said about the American flag because they said that they tried saying that the American flag was like white supremacist or something like that at one point.
Right.
So it's just stupid. But
You
we
know
also
what-
had that. I made a video. It was a while back. I think it was like probably like 3 years now. I made a video. It was what was it? It was the CIA or the FBI. They had like terrorism symbols, and it was like the Punisher symbol, the Gadsden flag. Like there were a few things on there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So no,
back when the FBI was labeling like parents at PTA meetings and stuff.
no, that was before that. That was
gotcha.
way before that. But no, in the similar vein of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We're actually we're making decent time today. We're talking about a lot of stuff today. So let's get into this next story. Hopefully YouTube allows me to play this short clip and it doesn't hit me with any strikes. Please, YouTube, I love you. I swear. So the White House posted this. This is from the official government account. Okay, YouTube.
This is a new era of the White House. Like, this is incredible.
No, so we're gonna play this video, but again, YouTube, I'm adding commentary to this. This is not the full song. It is a 17-second clip. Don't hit me.
Is this where you have to say like, I do not own the rights to this song or something?
I do not own the rights to this song, and the singer of this song does not condone the usage of this song. But we'll get into that because that's basically the story. So I'll probably pause it halfway through just to have some commentary, just to cut it up a little bit. But okay, let's play this clip. So the White House said, you don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Okay, so this is from El Salvador. Let's see.
closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
So I'm gonna pause it there just to cut it up a little bit.
I
And
can't
yeah,
believe
so
it.
this is the official White House account posting this video, and it's showing some of the illegals that were sent back to El Salvador. So let me play the rest of the clip
Yeah,
now that I cut
the
it
next
up.
shot, where it says border patrol, it is beautiful.
Let's see it.
Cinematically.
Take me home.
No, that's a great clip. I'm actually gonna slap a like on that. But
Yeah.
of course, because this has happened before, it will happen again. Anytime Donald Trump's White House likes to post videos with music, of course the makers of the music have to come out and make a statement. Because why not? So here's Semisonic, the creators of the song. We did not authorize or condone the White House's use of our song "Closing Time" in any way, and no, they didn't ask. The song is about joy and possibilities and hope, and they have missed the point entirely. I don't agree with that. I think this shows a lot about I feel absolute joy and I feel a lot of hope.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I don't know what they're talking about here. But of course, just like we saw in his past administration, we'll likely see it again. The creators of the song are upset that their song is being used. But what have you? I didn't even know who the makers of this song was, by the way, because it's been used in so many memes. Like I just know the song because it's just a legendary song at this point.
Right.
I didn't even know who Semisonic was. So why are they upset that they're now relevant after like 20 years?
Right. I mean, they're a one-hit wonder. They should just appreciate the extra, publicity that they're
Just take
getting.
the W. Just take the
Right.
W. Be like, hell yeah, get them immigrants out of here. Use more of our songs.
This is another 80-20 issue, right? Deportations of criminal immigrants is an 80-20 issue, right?
Absolutely.
And here they are taking the 20 side of it,
Yeah, no, it's sad to see that we even have to again comment on this. But I mean, like, is it like what's the issue? Why have we gotten to the point where Democrats are now defending actual gang members that are not just illegal immigrants, but literal gang members that I can't say the word on YouTube, but abuse someone sexually without consent is the nice way to put it.
Yeah.
That do terrible things to children in similar vein. All kinds of things. Why are they supporting those kinds of people? And they should be behind Trump in this. Be like, yeah, get them the out of our country. But again, this isn't even an 80-20 issue. When you look at things like this is like a 90-10 issue.
Yeah. The right thing to do would be to like go for the band to go to the airport and put on a concert the next time that they're deporting the people. Right?
Yeah,
Just
no, look,
outside concert while the people are getting deported playing.
dude, if I was this band, I'd be banking on this so hard right now. Like the next time Trump has a rally or something, or like the next time a big Republican has a rally, it'd be like, dude, let me come headline for you.
That's what I'm saying. But
Or
no,
like, let me close the show for you. Like it's closing time.
I feel like a response like this is people who are still living in the remnants of cancel culture. Like this is what you do to avoid getting canceled or whatever, and so they just still live in the fear that, oh, now I'm associated with
Yeah,
bad orange man. But like read the room. Like we are in a different era. Like
yeah, I get not wanting to be associated with something politically, but you just did that. You by making this statement, you are now associating yourself with being against deportations of criminals.
I think that the right response should have been like you could say that they did not reach out and like ask permission to us, but there's also like
There's a
like,
lot of ways
there
could have
are
done
ways
this.
to get the rights to the music, right?
A neutral way to do this, right? Would have been like, while we enjoy the use of our music, we would have appreciated them reaching out before.
Something like that.
Yeah,
or even saying like we aren't taking a political stance. They obtained our music from like purchasing it or however you legally, God,
yeah.
I feel like Tim was talking about it the last time this happened. It was you go to like the label or something. Who owns the rights to the music? The band probably doesn't own the rights to the music, so you go to the people who sell it for public use like that, right?
Yeah. But I don't know, just to make this statement and then add the end piece that I think it would have been fine for the most part if they didn't add that last part. The song was about joy and possibilities of hope, and they have missed the point entirely. Again, like we both jokingly said, I feel a lot of joy and a lot of hope seeing clips like that.
Yeah.
So I
Are
think
they
they
getting
missed the
ratioed by
point.
chance?
Sorry?
Are they getting ratioed?
Ratio. Let's see. Not quite, no.
Not quite.
Well, actually, to be fair, they kind of are, because there's a lot of quote retweets, and they turned off replies.
They did turn off replies.
Yeah,
That's
and they have hidden replies too. I almost want to click that, but we're on stream, so.
yeah, that's fair.
I'll just read this one from Nick Sortor. How can anyone not feel joy when deporting gang members? Pretty anti-American, if you ask me. Yeah, no, I completely agree with Nick Sortor there.
100%.
I don't know if you know who Nick Sortor is. I love bringing up his tweets. He always does some good reporting.
Yeah, I see him on X and whatnot, but has he? I don't know. I know
But,
of him. Yeah.
Yeah, but so we have an update to the NASA story. I look forward to announcing their safe return. NASA astronauts begin return journey after extended space mission. NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams have undocked from the International Space Station aboard a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, marking
let's
the end
go.
of an extended 9-month mission, initially planned for 8 days. Their return was facilitated by SpaceX due to the unforeseen issues with their Boeing Starliner spacecraft, which delayed their original schedule. The Dragon is set to splash down off Florida's coast.
Beautiful. That probably should be happening anytime. How long ago was that posted?
This is from 5 hours ago. But they said that the schedule is looking like probably Wednesday that they'll crash down. So I don't know if they need to orbit around a little bit.
Really?
But yeah, so it could be later today. It could be tomorrow. But either way, I'll report on it when we see that. I look forward
How cramped
to
is that capsule? I wonder. To be 24 hours in a Dragon capsule.
I don't know. It takes a lot to be an astronaut. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it. But I look forward to their safe return home. And the last story that we'll get into today that I didn't get to talk about yesterday because it wasn't really news until after the live stream. That and we had technical difficulties in the last 10 minutes. But we're going strong today. So Trump revokes Secret Service for Hunter and Ashley Biden. President Donald Trump has announced the immediate revocation of Secret Service protections for Hunter and Ashley Biden. The decision was made public following the reports of Hunter Biden vacationing in South Africa with an extensive Secret Service detail shortly after being served a deposition notice. Trump's announcement highlights the financial implications for U.S. taxpayers and criticizes the location of Hunter Biden's vacation, pointing to South Africa's human rights issues. So even besides that, I did a video recently talking about how apparently Hunter Biden is going to have to file for bankruptcy, and he can no longer continue his lawsuits regarding the defamation suits with his laptop. Right. So he's apparently broke. He's out of money. He's going bankrupt. No one's calling him, or no one's paying him to do appearances. No one's buying his books. No one wants to buy his paintings anymore. All these financial issues, but he's able to go vacation in South Africa.
Right.
So it just doesn't make sense to me. Apparently, allegedly, last 10 days. You mean? Wait, what do you mean? What was that in reference to?
What that comment was about.
I don't know what you mean, Joey. There's a delay. We're moving on anyway. But no, I made a video about this recently. Apparently, from the Palisades fires in California, one of the properties that he had his paintings at was burned, and the paintings were damaged or destroyed. Which, as much as I don't like Hunter Biden, that is unfortunate. But and then I also brought up in my video, apparently he was hired for speaking events. What speaking events is Hunter Biden going to be hired for?
Yeah, I mean, if he's getting hired for any sort of speaking events or whatever, like you can automatically assume that there's going to be some sort of corruption behind it. There's someone more important than him pulling the strings, and they're getting them money for some sort of reason. I mean, hey, maybe he's prepping for a presidential run, and he's trying to, stockpile.
Don't say that. Oh,
no. Watch it happen and watch the establishment just push him, the same way that they pushed Kamala Harris.
Well, he said that he's no longer being paid for any like speaking stuff. Joey's talking about the last 10 days. He means Rumble giving me the business.
Yep.
Rumble's always giving me the business. We're doing good today. We got 5 minutes left in the show. It's all good. No, the point I made in my video when I was talking about this was that they're not paying for Hunter to speak. They're paying for Joe Biden access. They were paying for access to Joe Biden. That's essentially
Right,
what it
100%.
was.
Yeah. But now, like, you would think that there wouldn't be a speaking opportunity for him because that access is no longer there. So there's got to be something.
No, that's what I'm saying.
More.
That's what the story was. That he's no longer being paid for speaking positions, and he's baffled as to why.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
So that was the story. Ever since Trump got into office, he's no longer being paid for speaking positions. He's no longer being his books aren't being sold. No one wants to buy his paintings. So it's like, your dad's no longer in office, and all of a sudden, no one wants to buy your garbage.
Yep. I mean, to be honest, I would hang a Biden painting in my house. Like, I look at a couple of them, and like, yeah, some kind of suck, but like, there are a couple that are trippy as hell, and I might hang a Biden painting in my house.
I don't know. There was that he had a who was it? I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed at this point, but he had a book of feces art.
Oh,
Have you ever seen that?
nope, I have not.
No.
Don't want to.
I haven't seen it personally, but I have seen the owner of the book talking about it. So I don't know how much you want his art. Who knows what he's making it with? Those paints could be all natural. You know what I mean?
God damn. That's. I revoke my previous statement.
I revoke my previous statement. I don't know if I want to hang some Hunter Biden garbage or literal crap on my wall.
Right, what are your thoughts on the revoking of Secret Service?
So did Trump's children have Secret Service protection at any point?
It's a valid question. Did they?
That would be my question. Let me I don't know. Let me ask Grok, because Grok isn't always true. Don't take Grok's word for things. But did Trump's kids have Secret Service?
Well, wasn't Biden trying to revoke Trump's Secret Service protection?
He did. He did. Let's see. Donald Trump did have Secret Service, but his children didn't.
It makes it difficult for me to, have any sort of, steel man for this revoking of Ashley and Hunter's Secret Service, because they tried to remove Trump's. Like, I might sit here and take away all the names and just want to discuss like the merits of, how long after being in office should, the past presidents or their families or whatnot, how long is appropriate for them to have Secret Service. But when you try and take away Trump's, it's like tit for tat. Like, I don't like playing the well, you did it to me, so I'm going to do it to you game. But at some point, you can't just be the slow down there Democrats kind of person. Like, put your foot on the gas and you reap what you sow.
Yeah, and he's not taking away Biden's Secret Service. It's just for his children. How are his children going to be targets in any way, any more than Trump's children, right? So, like, I'm sure Trump's family does have some protections at this point now that he is president, just like it would have made sense to have some protections for Biden's family during this too. But I don't know, like, why does Hunter Biden specifically need protection, or even Ashley Biden? Like, Ashley Biden's never even mentioned when it comes to the news stuff. So why is she getting any protections? So it just seems like a waste of taxpayer money. And it's just weird. It doesn't make any sense. No one needs to be protecting Hunter while he goes and snorts crack.
I mean, he's got to. Can you imagine him walking up to like pick up his bag of whatever he's getting, and he's got like two Secret Service agents right next to him as they go in the room to.
He takes a bump and he's like, "You want to hit?"
Jesus.
But all right. So we're closing. We're getting to the end of the show here. Final statements and anything you want to shout out.
Keep going, Democrats. Take those 20% issues. We'll keep talking about you. And I guess follow me on X, Tarek Rains, TERAKRAINES. I'll be back soon.
Cool. Well, we'll have TJ Rainman on again. I'm going to drop him down below. Boop, boop. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you stay on the live stream. I'm going to be sending you over to Outworld Live for Joey Cannoli. If you are not on Rumble, I'm going to put that link in the chat right now. So go ahead and head over there. And then for those of you that are in the Rumble watching me, thank you. As always, I'm going to go ahead and play the outro while I send you guys over to Joey. Thank you. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning into the video today. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to support me and support what I do, make sure you hit that like button, thumbs up, whatever you're watching from. If you are watching me from YouTube, go over to Rumble. If you're watching me from Rumble, go over to YouTube. Up to you. Always appreciate the extra follow. You could also follow me on X at Tyler Today News or at Tyler Rittenhour, which is my full name. Tyler Today News, YouTube, Tyler Today News, Rumble. Or if you want to go ahead and watch me over on Twitch for when I stream, I also stream at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, but I do stream from all three platforms. I just stream on Twitch as well, just to, have my name out there on Twitch as well. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out.